here is the upcoming sequels no one is talking about. So, anyway. I love good films. Anyway. And there's some sequels to films I don't understand. This one I don't understand. It's called Gladiator 2. Who asked for this film? Who asked for Gladiator 2? I mean, I like the first film, but I really don't want to see a sequel to a classic, and that being Gladiator. Like the Kingsman sequel, I don't understand why anybody would want to see it. I never even seen the other ones. Django Unchained 2. McClane. Master and Commander 2. Didn't even know they were doing it. Call Me By Your Name 2. Why the fuck would they do a sequel to that one? Top Gun Maverick. Dr. Sleep. Bill and Ted Face the Music. The Craft 2? Why would they do a sequel to a classic film like that? Anyway. I don't really understand them doing sequels to films. I never really understood, like, apparently, for those who don't know, Superman Returns is sort of the sequel to Superman 1 and 2. And apparently someone pointed this out, because I did not see this one. They say that Brandon Routh's Superman is the same as Christopher Reeve's Superman. Same guy. Just two different actors playing the same guy, Superman. So apparently, Brandon Routh as Superman is sort of the spiritual successor to Christopher Reeve Superman. I didn't even think of that, and I don't really see it that way. Even though there's a lot of people who are fans of it sort of see it that way, but I honestly don't see Brandon Routh equal to Christopher Reeve as Superman. I really don't. If that is the case of it, then alright, fine. But I still, to this day, believe that Dean Cain should play the Alex Ross Superman for Crisis on Infinite Earths. The Kingdom Come Superman. It's my opinion of it. I know there's a lot of people who love Brandon Routh, who love his version of Superman, which is really boring. But I still to this day believe that Dean Cain should play the older Superman. I know there's going to be people who would disagree, but this guy deserves it. He deserves to play Superman. Him and Terry Hatcher want a proper ending to the Lois and Clark show. Even though they lost Lane Smith and Eddie Jones, but Crisis on Infinite Earths would have been the way to end the show for Lois and Clark. Bring them back, give them an ending that would be good. Lois and Clark ended on a weird note. Even though Dean Cain said that we ended on the weirdest note ever. Because, for those who don't know, Lois and Clark were going to have another season. I don't know what the season would have been about. I mean, it ended with them finding a baby. Yeah, with who had the Superman symbol and for a blanket and stuff. It ended on that. It always bugged me that way. That they never had their proper ending, their proper due. Say goodbye and stuff. It just always bugged me. And I would love to see them do a reunion movie. It would be difficult to see a show because Eddie Jones isn't around. Lane Smith isn't around. And for me, it just always, it's a sad thing that two main characters who were important. Lane Smith, in my opinion, was the best Perry White ever. I literally have to one day do a commentary on Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. But I really don't want to. I love the show, but I really don't want to sit through it because I've seen all the seasons and I know what will happen in them. So, one show I really want to sit through and just talk about nonstop is Batman the Animated Series. I really want to sit through the Catwoman episodes and just talk about them. So anyway. So, I think Monday will be that way. I think next week will be the best of Batcat. I am going to Monday sit through Batman the Animated Series. Talk about the Catwoman episodes where Catwoman appears in the show. Tuesday will be the Brave and the Bold Catwoman. And I think the rest of them will be like Batman movies, like Batman Returns and Batman 66. And really just talk about Batcat nonstop. So one thing I learned from Batman issue 80 is we have 5 issues of Tom King's Batman. And I think one thing I want to do is with issue 85 is really go through a full review of Tom King's Batman run. Is something I really want to do. I really want to digest everything and really give a full opinion review of it. And I am excited to see where it goes. Did I like Batman 80? I did in a way, but at the same time it's a filler book. It feels like it's a filler story. I'm disappointed how they handled Two-Face. Hush was not bad. Kind of not bad, but I still prefer the Hush from the Batman comic, Batman Hush. One thing I wish they would have done with Two-Face, instead of making him a cop and his partner is Professor Pig, I don't know how those two would get along. It was stupid. I wish they would have just did like a full tribute to like the animated series and just made him the judge. So, I can't wait for the next week shows. I'm excited for the Catwoman talk about. And I think after watching the animated, I think we'll watch a Gotham episode as well. I don't know which Gotham episode to watch, so I want somebody to pick out the episode for me. Just pick out a random episode and I'll see it live on the podcast. So, anyway, I can't wait for that one. So, anyway. Mm-hmm. Alright, anyway, I am looking over some crazy things, so I got some of the episodes I picked out for the animated series of Batman. Alright. So, I know this is the longest episode now. Where I'm just like chatting, talking, yada yada yada. So, I know someone asked me like, what does a yada 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 mean? It's a reference to Seinfeld. I don't know if anybody's ever watched Seinfeld. They did the yada yada yada, which Elaine always said. So it's kind of like a funny reference because I like the show Seinfeld. I love I can't wait for the show being on Netflix. I mean, yeah, Netflix and all that. I'm not the biggest Netflix watcher, so my favorite Seinfeld episode. By the way, I'm really heartbroken that they won't be on TBS anymore. So, my favorite Seinfeld episode was the Junior Mints. For those who never watched it, the Junior Mints one is where Elaine's boyfriend has surgery, heart surgery, I think. So Seinfeld and Kramer are watching the procedure, the surgery and stuff, because students are learning surgery. So Jerry is sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden Kramer is sitting next to him, and Kramer gets a box of Junior Mints. I have to play the clip because the way Kramer describes it is fucking hilarious. And I will admit, in a way, I am kind of like Jerry Seinfeld. I think a lot of us are sort of like Jerry Seinfeld at times, where we get in social situations where we just don't want to be in. Here it is. The Junior Mint.